Atlanta News First Plus starts now with the First Alert Weather Day.
Hey everybody, I'm First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris. So what you are seeing on the right-hand side of your screen, that is video flash flooding from Thursday night in Atlanta. This was specifically in southwest Atlanta. And if you can recall, we've actually had several of these events over the past several weeks. It's not every single storm, but a lot of these storms have been producing flash flooding, street flooding within metro Atlanta. We've had a lot of questions as to why are we seeing so much flooding here in North Georgia. I know that's a story that's really kind of taken over the country, but specifically for us in North Georgia and metro Atlanta, obviously not as bad as what they've seen in Texas, but we have had a lot of these type of situations where we've had this street flooding that's impacted you here across the region. So I wanted to kind of break down why we're seeing that, because we are in that type of a pattern. Here's our forecast model for this afternoon. This is starting at lunchtime today, and notice these storms are moving from west to east today. The reason why they're moving from west to east is because our winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, that's what drives these thunderstorms, and that's what our winds are doing right now. They are flowing from west to east, and that's what's kind of pushing these storms through. Now, normally, this is called the jet stream, by the way. These winds are fast enough in the upper levels of the atmosphere to where they really move these storms along. But what happens in the summertime, our winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere really start to relax and they slow down. So because of that slower wind, the storms don't move quite as fast. This is pretty normal for the summertime. And without those storms not really moving, plus a lot of moisture in place, that's what ultimately produces the flash flooding that you've seen here over the past several weeks. It's a combination of a ton of moisture and the storms just not moving that fast because of the slower winds that we typically see during the summer months. And unfortunately, that's a trend that's going to continue today and into tomorrow. It doesn't even really matter the number of storms we see, whether it's 20 storms or if it's just 2 storms, because the winds aren't really moving that fast. Any storm would be capable of producing some isolated street flooding, and it doesn't help in metro Atlanta with a lot of concrete because there's not a lot of places for that water to go, at least initially. So I want to remind you of very important information here, and I want to point out that this afternoon, this evening, everybody won't see flooding. This is very isolated, but if it does happen, it's very important to remember that it only takes 6 inches of fast-moving water to knock you off of your feet, an adult person. And it doesn't look like it's threatening, but when water is moving quickly, it's only 6 inches of water that can knock you off your feet. When you're talking about automobiles, it only takes a foot of fast-moving water to sweep your car away. Okay, just 1 foot. A lot of times this happens at night because people can't see how deep the water is, but it only takes 1 foot. Just take out a ruler to sweep your car away, and it only takes 2 feet to sweep an SUV away. So very important information to remember here as we continue with this wet pattern that we'll be in at least through Friday. If you see a flash flood warning issued, especially at night, that's basically what we're talking about, is the potential for the street flooding that we've seen in an isolated fashion throughout metro Atlanta. So just be mindful of that if you're going to be out and about during these storms. These flash flood warnings are super important. And again, not everybody will see this. I don't want to make it seem like it's going to flood all day today in metro Atlanta. That won't be the case. A lot of you will see rain and lightning at some point, but some of the stronger storms, some of the slow-moving storms will be capable of producing some street flooding. And if you live in an area where your road floods pretty quickly. So just keep that in mind throughout the course of the day today. We are in a first alert weather day for today for the potential for some additional street flooding and rain and lightning. It won't be a washout, but scattered storms will develop this afternoon, continue this evening and through tonight. Your entire first alert weather team will be here keeping you up to date on these storms. Right now, you would not know that it's going to rain. It's partly cloudy outdoors, but after lunch, those isolated storms will start popping back up. So we'll certainly keep you up to date on the storms today and on Friday. You can keep up to date right here on Atlanta News First Plus. First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi will have an updated look at that forecast model coming up for you on Atlanta News First at noon. And, of course, you can always find your forecast in the First Alert weather app. Stay safe out there, and until next time, we'll see you soon.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF+. You can also text weather to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.